Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we're back to talk about Courtney, or we're back to watch one of Courtney's live streams. This one is called Hair Reveal, which we're gonna skip. It was a good 6 minutes of her talking about her new hairstyle and how she cut it herself, but I've decided to skip that because it's 6 minutes of nothingness in my opinion. I recorded like 30 minutes of it ish. I decided to stop after she reads some kind of quotes from Jessie Lee. I wasn't really listening, I was screen recording, but I heard her talking about Jessie Lee, so I decided to stop it after that one because she gets a little bit emotional. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. I do apologize. I realize I look very pale with this wall behind me. My ring light is on the warmest color and I'm still pale AF. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Anyways, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. That's a nice free way to support my channel if you would like. And as always, big shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for being here, and let's just get into this because we're gonna be here for a while. You can have a quick live stream with Courtney apparently.
Excuse me. And there are a lot of things that we strive for perfectionism. We strive that we think that we have to look perfect before we go on live. Yes, it took me longer to get on here than I intended to because I did, fix my eyebrows, throw on some mascara. But I didn't have to put on a full face. And the funny thing is like the more that you get yourself done and kind of stick to habits and routines that are healthy, the less that you feel like you are procrastinating, the less that you notice yourself procrastinating because you already have things built into your routines that have you set up for your day and have you ready to go. And like, what's the word? Stay ready. Like you're always ready. You're always ready to be on camera. You're always ready for a meeting. You're always ready for a win. Like you stay ready, so the more that you build this into your routine, the less that you procrastinate because you don't feel like things have to be perfect. You don't have to show up perfectly, but the more that you build it into your routines and your habits, the less likely you are to be a procrastinator because you get better and faster at everything and you become more efficient. And so, MC, how are you? I was just thinking about you. It's good to see you on here. And so you become more efficient at it. And Jessie Lee, I remember she would always say things like, procrastination is just spelled wrong, or perfectionism is spelled wrong. It's actually procrastination. That's what she would say. You need this so much taking notes because your whole life is procrastination mode right now. Oh, Danielle, listen, you know what? I've got your back. I've got your back. It's mostly that we have things that we know that we should be doing that we continue to avoid, and we allow ourselves to get distracted. And so then we tend to procrastinate to avoid those things and stay distracted even more often. And so I thought, what better time to share this than on 8:30 at night on a Friday night. So.
I mean, okay, I guess I don't understand why would you watch a random lady online talking about procrastination and teaching you how to not procrastinate? Because who is Courtney? Do we even know that she doesn't procrastinate? I don't know if she said in those 6 minutes of the intro if she does that. I'm pretty sure the majority of people, even sometimes, maybe you're not a regular procrastinator, but I'm sure we all sometimes procrastinate. I do get her point. It does make sense. But again, when it comes to the fact that this is an MLM training and she's trying to tell people put some makeup on and you don't have to be perfect, which is great. You don't have to be perfect when you're showing up on social media. I mean, look at me. I'm pale AF. I have no makeup. I don't care. I feel fine with showing up this way with no makeup in front of the camera. But I understand that not everyone feels that way. And I didn't feel that way a few years ago even. It's something that I had to work on. I used to never get out of my house without makeup. I would have to at least put foundation on my face. I guess I'm just trying to say you're gonna find a reason to procrastinate, but even so, it doesn't matter because she's telling people to go work their MLM biz and go live on their social media, which the majority of people in her downline are not making any kind of profit from working the business, from doing live streams on their social media. I don't think you should be in an MLM in general. I think you should leave the MLM, and I think you should find something else that's actually gonna give you profit. If you need income, if you're in the MLM because you want to earn money, you're not gonna make it in the MLM because the business model is set up so that the majority of people fail. I'm gonna link the income disclosure statement from Pruvit in the description box below, and you can take a look and you can see that the majority of people in Courtney's downline, the majority of people in Pruvit in general, the majority of distributors, they never make any profit. Really long-winded thought that I had there, but it is what it is.
With caffeine, which by the way, you can get this flavor, which is my favorite, for 35% off right now. Yes, boom shakalaka. Just throw that out there. And my second favorite flavor, which Jessie Lee loved cherries, but this limoncello, perfection. And she would probably be telling us that well, I don't know if she's ever had a limoncello, but if she had, which I'm sure the Italianos shoved it down her throat, and she said, she would say that it tastes exactly the same. I don't know yet, but I feel like that's what she would say because she never lied about flavors. And this one is so good. Limoncello is bomb, and it's also available neither here nor there. Back to the procrastination. The flavors are so good. So, if it's interesting because when we strive for perfectionism, what ends up happening. Oh, Australia, I'm so sorry, Kristen. My whole heart for you. Is that if you continue to push for perfectionism, you end up feeling like you failed. It's just kind of what Danielle was talking about a second ago. She's like, I absolutely need this in my life. I feel like my entire life is procrastination. I stay procrastinated. And it's ironic that you begin to feel that way, even though you don't have to, if you just take action on it. Messy action is better than trying to strive for perfection, because then sometimes you'll just never get it done, right? You only create more challenges whenever you tend to procrastinate. So the second reason, excuse me, the second thing that causes procrastination is fear. So, I have lost weight. Well, thank you. I mean, I fluctuate. I'm riding this roller coaster with my body. You can't even see it. The black chair is blending. I'm blending in. Anyway, all right. So, thank you, MC. I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with fluctuating. We all fluctuate with weight. I don't weigh myself at all anymore. I used to do it every single day. It was very unhealthy. But also, the way she said it seems like she's up and down, and she maybe isn't as happy with the way she looks like, or with the fact that her weight fluctuates. But again, it's completely normal to fluctuate. But also, aren't ketones supposed to get you fit and keep you fit, because they're so amazing? It's such a magical product, and you should not be having these kind of issues if you're taking ketones for years and years and years. That's my question. Again, not that there's anything wrong with weight fluctuating. It's a completely normal thing. It happens to everyone. It has nothing to do with you being fit or no, the number on the scale. But I'm just saying, in their terms, the Pruvit terms and the ketones are so amazing terms, this doesn't make any sense. This is kind of saying that the product is not working.
So much. So the fears that stop us from doing things is another reason that we procrastinate. We overthink. We think that we're not good enough. We feel like we have this fear of failure. We have this fear of success. What if I hit it and I can't maintain it? What if I cannot sustain it? What if the people think that I'm a fraud? The fact of the matter is that we're all humans. We all make mistakes. We all started somewhere. We know whenever we join someone in business that we're not expecting perfectionism. And I think it's so important that if you just set the standards with people to communicate with you, if they're feeling some type of way, and that you're open to adapting and to listening and all these things, it's not only do you get people that are more likely to come to you, then you're able to uphold that standard of that you have communicated, then you build a stronger foundation. You establish trust in your relationships and inside of your leadership, and it begins to reflect inward and outward, and the stronger communication develops stronger relationships, which helps kind of fight through that fear that you had. And the fear only makes us better. Because when we actually, thank you so much, Kat. I appreciate you. I had my husband help me chop it off. I chopped it, and then I made him clean it up because I wasn't doing a good job. So I did it on purpose. I was like, he will not be able to ignore me if I do not, if I mess it up. He won't be able to let me walk around like this. Anyway, and we did a great job the last time it worked. So. But you'll feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you're kind of in this imposter syndrome. Like, oh, I have this, this. So often we've heard fake it till you make it. I kind of talk about faking it until you become it. And then I started to feel like, which this is a really important initiation process that we go through, is that we realize, in my opinion, that we're kind of walking contradictions. We learn new things. We adapt. We evolve what our thoughts and our processes and how we show up and the way that we treat people. And we change, like we evolve. And so do our opinions and the structure and the systems that we use, and the way that, like it stays the same, but we learn new things, so we adapt. And that's so, so, so important. And now I say, instead of that, I talk about, MC, I love you so much. Thank you, darling. You're so I appreciate you. If you need anything, I'm always here for you. Y'all are such a great team. Thank you. You love my haircut. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate you. Make sure that you guys share this out with someone that you know will get value from this, and then double tap and leave some hearts. So, the internet knows that you like what you're watching. But for real, it works for the algorithm, okay? All right, thanks. Hey, Tatiana, how are you, love? What I have started to say, instead of fake it till you make it, fake it till you become it, all of those processes, which I never wanted to fake it until I make it, right? Like, it just never felt like aligned with that. I understood it, but I didn't feel aligned with that wording. And you really don't have to. You just learn to emulate it until you can embody it. And emulate what feels. You just try it on. You're just like, let me try this on. Let me emulate it. And I think I understood that better than some people, because of ADHD, which I know I'm not alone in that, right? But people who have ADHD were really great at mirroring other people, and in these things that you learn to do when you are kind of in connection and contact with people, and you're communicating with them. When you mirror their body language, sometimes you just do it you don't even realize you're doing it. You're just so natural at it. Some people, that's just what it is. And they started to see that by...
I was hoping she's gonna say, I used to say fake it until you make it, but I don't align with it anymore. And this is my new saying. It sounded like she's gonna go in that direction, but now she's kind of just saying it, well, you should fake it until you make it. Like, just try it on. Try it on. Try to pretend like you're successful, and then it's gonna happen for you one day, and then you won't have to pretend anymore. Which is like the worst business advice that I have probably ever heard, ever. Because in my opinion, at least, I don't know. Let me know down below if you have a different opinion on that one. But it sucks, because for the majority of people who join Pruvit, or any other MLM for that matter, they can fake it in the beginning. They can fake success, but the majority of them are never gonna get to the point where they're actually successful and they don't have to fake it anymore, because the majority of people never make any profit. It's just that the business model is set up so that they're gonna fail. So giving this kind of advice to people when you know the majority of them is still gonna fail regardless if they fake it or not, it seems pointless to me.
Mirroring other people's body languages and the words that they're also saying, that you start sharing the same words. It's totally normal to do that, because then people feel comfortable around you, but it's also an ADHD trait. So I totally understand emulating it until you can embody it. And you're just trying things on. You're just like dating it. Like, does this feel right for me? And then, one day you're going to really make it your own. And the things that I'm sharing with you, and yes, they're lessons that I've learned from Jessie Lee, but they're not original to her. She's taking things and regurgitating it and sharing it and passing it along. So of course I'm going to say that I learned it from her, because I want her name to live on and her legacy to carry on, so that you guys can maybe you'll say that you learned it from Courtney, but you'll know that when you heard it, that I gave credit where credit is due, right? And I think that that is so important as well. I think that is a huge testimony to where my relationships have flourished as well. So, stop procrastinating with building relationships and connecting with other people, because the longer that you wait to do so, the more that you feel like you're not good at it, the more that you feel like you're failing at it. Just because you're procrastinating. It's not even that you're bad at it. You're just procrastinating. So stop doing that and start building these skills and getting better at it, because if you don't take action and start, then you can't possibly feel better. So are
we surprised that her advice is just stop procrastinating and just do this and that and that? If it was that easy, Courtney, people would not procrastinate ever. If we could just stop procrastinating. I'm not surprised that this is kind of pointless and useless advice, probably for the majority of people that are watching her live stream, including me and all of you guys as well.
So, it's funny because whenever people are like, well, I've taken some time off of social media. What do I do? How do I show up? I'm like, just show up. Like for me, I never fully leave. I'm always there in some way, shape, or form, even if my content isn't being posted. So I'm not going to make a big scene and like, I know I've been gone for some time. Y'all aren't going to be like, where has she been? Some of you might. Some of you are noticing. Of course you are. You're messaging me about it. But if I go back and I make a post about it and I talk about it instead of just coming back and making a post, when people see it, they're just swiping through content.
All right, we're gonna fast forward a few minutes or seconds because this is the screen recording thing that happened. I don't know why it happened, but yeah, it gets back to normal in a few minutes, so I'm just gonna forward it. We did not miss absolutely anything valuable, I can tell you that.
And it's like whatever the term is for ADHD. And I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense, because it's absolutely what you do. Like, I don't know, I guess normal people don't do that, but ADHD people do. Or not normal. Okay, so we're neurodivergent, but neurotypical people don't necessarily do that unless they're like actors or something, or they learn how to win friends and influence people. That's another way that you do that, a skill that you can teach yourself. You did that audio, so funny. Okay, so I truly feel like the whole reason I brought that part up is that, you're trying these different things on. You're trying on these different parts of how you want to show up and how you want to treat people and how you want to lead people. And you have this anxiety around, the profession you're in and being seen and being successful and all these things. And it's not actually imposter syndrome. It's just that you have anxiety around it. So you can choose to feel excited because they are the same frequencies. They're the same types of energy.
I think it would be a little bit better if we don't assume what people are struggling with like this. You're talking in general to anyone and everyone who is watching your live streams, so you don't know what's wrong with people or what people are struggling with, and it's not always the same thing. It's not always for the same reason. Like the same thing is not going to help all of those people.
If you hear talking to a Gemini, that's funny, sort of. It's funny because it's true is what I meant. Okay, so I was like, where was I in explaining this? Excuse me.
This is another great example of ketones working really well on Courtney, as she's just so focused and the mental clarity is on the next level.
Your brain doesn't actually know the difference between being nervous and being excited. So that's what I meant by they're the same types of energy, the same frequency. And your brain doesn't know the difference between the lie and the truth. So whatever you focus on is what you're going to get. If you focus on that you're nervous, or if you shift that word simply to excited, and you're like, okay, I'm excited. You're just trying on the word excited for the feeling. You're not like maybe you are lying to yourself about the feelings that you have, but you can shift that thought process from nervous to excitement, and the feeling won't necessarily change, but your thoughts around it will, and your mind will believe it. Okay, so and that is really the power of, like, people want to say bad things and say that you're brainwashing yourself, but that's actually the goal. You should want to choose what you're brainwashing yourself with. It's so important. You're being brainwashed whether you're doing it intentionally or you're allowing someone else to do it. It's just the same thing as a leader. The culture is being built in your team, whether you are doing it intentionally or you are allowing other people to do it. It's the same thing, like society is brainwashing you, so you do it intentionally or you just allow yourself to be brainwashed every time you scroll. Thank you, Sarah. Every time you're scrolling, okay? So next time you're scared, I love this. She says, next time you're scared and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to recruit this person? What if they say it won't work for them, right? You're nervous about it. And you say, hey, I'm excited about this. I'm going to step into my power instead of being so scared. And I promise you that you will be solution oriented as long as you focus on that. I will find, I don't know the answer to that, but I can figure it out, right? Your brain doesn't know the difference, so you get to choose. Like, do you have anxiety or are you just excited? So be conscious of the language that you're using and allow that feeling to kind of guide you to new ways that you're going to grow. Now, the third way.
Oh, who would have known? It's so easy, apparently, to fix anxiety as well, because you just have to convince yourself that you're not anxious and you're excited. And there you go, your anxiety issue is fixed. And as someone who's struggling with anxiety, thank you, Courtney. I'm going to try that next time when I have social anxiety. I'm going to try to convince myself that I'm just excited. I'm not anxious at all.
Way that we procrastinate is that you are not building a bigger vision for yourself. And it's so important inside of every single, like all three of these different reasons that we procrastinate. And in everything that we do, the most important part of it all is our energy. Managing our energy is so crucial. And I just said it with procrastination. Point number 2 is that you just allow yourself to feel anxious and to stay distracted instead of allowing yourself to be excited and guided and directed and called and pulled to your bigger vision. Because when you're excited about something and you're feeling pulled towards a purpose, then nothing is going to really make you anxious. The more that you actually start to feel more excited and you lose the anxiety of it because you know why you're doing it. You just got to know why. Why are you showing up? Why are you reaching out and running with the people that you're running with? Why are you in the profession you're in? Why is this career path the one that you've chosen? Why are you helping people the way that you're helping them? What is the bigger purpose here? And when you can manage your energy and really the most intelligent people that are also mentally fit, the most mentally fit people are the ones who are the most easily adapting. Those who adapt the easiest are the most mentally fit. And so if you're rattled by any sort of change, or if you're also too lackadaisical about the things that you do, then you have a little bit more room to grow in terms of, making your strengthening your mental state. You know what I mean? You got to work it out. You got to work out that muscle. Your brain is a muscle. You got to work it out. And so sometimes whenever we are being challenged and we feel like, oh God, why me? Truly it's why not you? You're being called towards something bigger, so you have bigger challenges that you're meant to face. You're supposed to be emotional and feeling a little stressed out and questioning everything in your life because you got to find a bigger purpose. You're supposed to feel a little anxious, because then your faith builds, it strengthens. Your faith is strengthened. You get all anxious and then you find your purpose. Oh God, why me? No, why not you? Exactly, Shalana. So manage your energy. and know that you're being pulled towards something, and you just have to open up your eyes and open up your ears to being guided towards.
You're being pulled towards what though? You're being guided by what? God? Is this where we go into the spiritual manipulation, in my opinion?
Towards a big enough vision. You know, I've actually been getting, it's interesting because this can really stem from us running from our past. And physically, intentionally, metaphorically. And I've been having these just memories pop up in my mind, and I start to think about little moments as a kid that were actually pretty joyful. And I'm like, oh. And the other day I just blurted out something when I was a kid that I would do, and that brought me a lot of joy, that was a lot of fun. And I can't remember what it was now. And I remember sharing it, and I was like, oh, this is what Joshua was talking about, because we were driving one day, and he was showing me things from his past, from his childhood, and we were just talking about things when we were in Missouri at one point. And I said, and he goes, you don't ever tell us stories about when you're a kid. Well, I was like, well, we don't really drive by my stuff. And I was like, we don't ever go by my childhood things either. I don't know. I didn't really think about it. I don't do it on purpose. And then whenever I told that story, I was like, oh, I don't tell a lot of stories from my childhood. But I also just thought to myself, I don't focus on the past. I focus on where I'm going, and I focus on my vision and my future. I'm so future focused. I think about it all the time. And I realized in processing the ways that I've kind of felt like I've procrastinated at different times.
I get it, but also I think it's okay to be future focused, but you probably shouldn't forget to be present in the moment as well. I was future focused for a very long time when I was trying to work towards my freelancing thing and everything, that I forgot to be present in the moment, and I forgot to live. I was just working, and it led to some health issues that I'm struggling with at the moment. So just a reminder to take care of yourself and to also be present and rest. And you don't always have to be future focused and work for the better future or whatnot.
And that I've been avoiding things, or I've been distracting things. I've allowed myself to slow down and get more in my feminine. And I went on this women's retreat, and I felt so good. I'm just I'm just processing, and I am communicating, and I am building deep relationships, and I am just and I'm riding this roller coaster at the same time of these challenges that I'm being faced with. I'm playing with a new cut, okay, just while I'm talking to you guys, all at the same time. And in doing this, I'm processing these things, and I'm starting to get these little memories from when I was a child, and I'm I don't feel like I'm running from my past anymore. I feel like I am so much living in the now that I'm excited about the future, but I'm appreciating what is happening right now that's going to take me to where I'm going, instead of being so focused on living in the future.
Okay, yes, I'm glad she said that, because that's I agree with that. Definitely.
I'm okay, just be present in the right now and do what you know that you're supposed to do, because, your business and our lives live in 90-day cycles. So what do I need to do to keep this feeling going continuously past the next 90 days, right? So I have to be aware of it, but also bringing myself right back into the moment. And so living in the now, it's the past, the present, and the future all in one. Okay. And I just really feel like this isn't something that you can teach people how to do. It's not something that I can give you the steps. The only thing that I can tell you is that you have to continuously grow. And the more aggressively that you grow, the more aggressive that you become on your path to being the best version of yourself, and knowing that you never arrive. You don't ever actually get there. It's never going to feel like you've made it. I hope not. Oh God, I hope not. But what will start to happen is you'll have moments like this, where you can be so grateful that you finally were able to slow down the pace and not rush to the next thing and be so in your masculine that you are just, because like women, not even just women, people in their feminine energy that slow down, that relax, that get intentional on like, what am I supposed to be learning right now? What is this lesson teaching me? What is God guiding me through? What am I being called to? What is my bigger purpose? You got to slow down to pay attention, to listen. It's work to slow down. It's hard work to be in your feminine energy and just listen and process and be like, what is this season teaching me right now? Because when you do that, you accelerate the speed at which you fly into the next season. And Jessie Lee says, when you have no more pain because that past is kind of far away, you don't really see it anymore. Your kids are fine, your partner's fine, your house is fine, and you have no more unpaid bills. You bought your mom this, you bought your dad that, your Christmas holidays were awesome. This year you don't work as hard, you start to slow down the pace, you're further away from the past than you ever were, and that's why you're slowing down. You need to surround yourself with things that push you to your bigger vision. Otherwise, you get caught up in that space of being too slow. Because there's a difference with the season of slowness and the energy of being slow. And what I mean by that is that you can't just wish and wait and hope and pray without taking action. And once you start to do both together, that is when you can actually create this flow in energy and in action and in masculine versus feminine. It's that you don't have to rush from thing to 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 thing, but that you keep your list full and you keep your schedule packed enough that you're able to still process for yourself through taking action, exerting energy, processing what that is, learning new things, doing that, applying it, taking action, teaching other people how to do it, slowing down and processing, then learning new things so that you're able to just keep going with it and keep going with it. And there will be times when you don't even have the space or energy or capacity to learn. And if you do that too much and you're go, and you're masculine, then you start to feel burnout and you start to feel like, so this is why it's so important to have both. So important. I love to hear you talk about this because you've allowed us to see what happens when you take on growth aggressively. I love you so much for saying that. Thank you. Can't just wish and wait and hope.
Okay, well, that was where I stopped recording. Messy as always, she did get a little bit emotional talking about Jessie Lee, but I guess there we have it. These were just some lessons that she was taught by Jessie Lee, and now she's teaching her downline, which is fair enough. Fair enough in general, but when it comes to the fact that this is an MLM and she's teaching people how not to procrastinate in an MLM, but the majority of them are not even making any profit. They're just working for free for the MLM and for Courtney, because she gets benefits from her downline's hard work. It's just pointless. It's useless in my opinion. But you let me know down below what you thought about this, and let me know down below if I forgot to comment on something. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate you guys. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. That's a nice way to support my channel if you would like, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.